a murder indictment against Raymond Tenzing, who was a University of Cincinnati police officer, for the murder of Samuel DuBose. We are going to release the video of this murder here shortly. The office is actively making copies for all of you. I think that's probably the best way to do it. If you have questions of me, you can ask them now, but I will say this. I've been doing this for over 30 years. This is the most asinine act I've ever seen a police officer make. Totally unwarranted. It's an absolute tragedy in the year 2015 that anyone would behave in this manner. It was senseless, and I met with a family just moments ago. It's just horrible. Yes?
Joe, tell me what makes it murder under the law.
Purposeful killing of another. That's what makes it murder. He purposely killed him.
And when you say it's asinine and totally unwarranted, can you, in your mind, what contributed to a trained police officer doing something that you call asinine?
He should never have been a police officer. I mean, I work with police every day, and they are some of the best people I know. And Mr. DuBose simply didn't follow simple, non-violent commands. He was subdued. The cop had his license plate number. I mean, it was so unnecessary for this to have occurred. And the policemen I know and the investigators that I work with every day, this situation would never have escalated like this. You know, people want to believe that Mr. DuBose had done something violent towards the officer. He did not. He did not at all. And I feel so sorry for his family and what they lost, and I feel sorry for the community too, because we've worked so hard to develop great police relationships with the community, and to have this type of a senseless act take place in Cincinnati, this doesn't happen in the United States, okay? This might happen in Afghanistan or somewhere. This just does not happen in the United States. People don't get shot for a traffic stop unless they're violent towards the police officer. And he wasn't. He was simply slowly, you're going to see it, he was simply slowly rolling away. That's all he did.
You know what, in the United States, also, cops don't get indicted for murder very often in the United States.
That's true. And you all have covered me for a long time. And you know that this office has probably reviewed upwards of 100 police shootings. And this is the first time that we thought this is without question a murder. Yes, Sherry.
The officer's attorney told us that the officer was dragged, and I believe the incident report suggests that too. Does the video show that at all?
No, he wasn't dragged.
Was he ever knocked to the ground from the hood of the car?
No. He fell backwards after he shot him in the head.
There have been some comments that perhaps this officer was in over his head making this traffic stop and panicked. Is that in any way, shape, or form what we see on the video, than what you've seen?
I think he lost his temper because he wasn't, you know, Mr. DuBose wouldn't get out of his car. I think he lost his temper. And when you see this, you will not believe how quickly he pulls his gun and shoots him in the head. maybe a second. It's incredible. And so senseless, and again, I feel so sorry for his family, and I feel sorry for the community. This should not happen, ever.
What did the officer say that happened in his statement to the police?
He said he was dragged.
What did you tell his family, Mr. DuBose's family, and what was their reaction?
They're in a very sensitive place right now because of their loss. I simply told them we were seeking a murder indictment for what happened, and you know, I believe we can make them available. Julie, is that correct?
They're going to let me know.
If they want to talk to you all,
Have they seen the video?
they have.
Are they in the building?
I showed it. Yes.
What was their
Some of them. It was horrible. I mean, it's you know, you see your relative get shot in the head. It's horrible.
Joe, is it going to be so horrible that the community or even outsiders will look past or not see the murder and go right to that? Are you concerned at all about what this is going to possibly cause?
Well, I think that because we acted as rapidly as we could, we returned a murder indictment against a police officer. It was, and keep in mind, this is not Cincinnati. This is the University of Cincinnati. I would hope that people would, as they reflect on this entire situation, realize that we sought justice, which is my job, and did the right thing. And you know, when you all see this video, and we're going to play it here for you in a second, and we'll give you copies of it for your use. It's just senseless. It is. Didn't have to happen. Yeah, Tom. Good.
Officer Kidd, I mean, backed up the story in the report for Officer Kidd.
We're looking at that, John. We're looking at that entire issue right now. And we promised the family we would look at that. It is our belief that he was not dragged. I mean, if you slow down this tape, you see what happened. But it is a very, very short period of time from when this car just starts slowly rolling that the gun is out and he's shot in the head.
I know this is somewhat of a side issue now maybe, but over the last week and a half, there's been so many calls to release this video early. Would you just comment for us about why you insisted that this video not be released until now, until this investigation is done?
It was an investigatorial technique. I mean, we have a cop who was a target of an investigation, and he was talking. And I didn't want the video to be on television and then have later witnesses and or a targeted defendant couch his testimony around that. So I chose to do that, and you all sued me, so congratulations. And you all lose, too.
Hey, Joe, the family's attorney yesterday had said to me that he didn't think there would be an indictment because getting an indictment on a cop is too hard and not enough time had passed for an investigation. I guess they don't know how it's done here, or can you respond to that?
I think it was very important that we responded rapidly to this case, especially after we saw the tape. And look, we don't mess around here. If we think something's awry, we go after it. And I assume the indictment's been reported out now, Julie. And a warrant for his arrest has gone out, and hopefully they'll pick him up soon.
Joe, that was my question. Have you discussed, is he going to turn himself in at scheduled time? Have you talked to his attorney?
I'm treating him like a murderer.
Is he in custody right now? Or is he
They're out to get him. We asked his lawyer to turn him in if he wants, but we're going to arrest him.
as we speak?
Yes.
You're still going to go forward with the Supreme Court, though, try to get this idea of a body cam as a public record decided, correct?
We'd like to. We think that the issue's probably going to be moot after today, but it would be nice to get some direction from the Supreme Court.
You've worked with officers in many, many cases, and you said you've been prosecuted officers before. What should the officer have done in this case? You said he reacted just moments before the car swirling away, and the officer fired. What should he have done?
He wasn't dealing with someone who was wanted for murder, okay? He was dealing with someone who didn't have a front license plate. I mean, this is, in the vernacular, a pretty chicken crap stop, all right? And I could use harsher words. But nonetheless, if he's starting to roll away, just seriously, let him go. I mean, you don't have to shoot him in the head. And that's what happened.
Joe, how long is
The
the videotape?
videotape is about, I'm going to give you the entire video, so you'll have the entire video with you. I'm going to stop it after the shot takes place, because there's a lot of stuff after that where the cops are talking about what happened, and the defendant says, you know, I got my arm stuck and my arm's hurt and all that stuff. It's just nonsense.
What's the message to the community or to other police officers, Joe?
I mean, look, we're going to follow the law in this office, and we are going, if the facts fit the law, we're going to pursue that, no matter if you're a police officer or you're Pope Francis. I don't care who you are, and we're going to go after you.
Is this murder in the first degree, second degree?
There's not murder like that in Ohio. No, this is a purposeful killing of another person.
If convicted, what's the penalty, Joe?
Life in prison.
What can you tell us about the officer himself? Have you seen any of, like, his background or his records?
Nothing I'm going to share with you today.
But when you say he should not have been a police officer...
Don't sue me over that, Sherry.
I'm sorry, what?
No, I thought Sherry was going to sue me for that answer.
When you stated earlier that he should not have been a police officer, are you referring to this incident or other aspects of his career?
I think you have to look at his entire body of work. And I don't know that UC could have found it out. And frankly, I told UC that Cincinnati Police ought to have a District 6 and make it to the University of Cincinnati. Because I just don't... Look, the university, I graduated from UC twice. It's a wonderful university. I love their president. But they're not cops. And we have a great police department in Cincinnati, probably the best in Ohio. And I talked to the chief about it today, and I said, you know, you guys should be doing this stuff. And I think he's in agreement with it. The university does a great job educating people, and you know, they made a lawyer out of me, kinda, and that should be their job. Being police officers shouldn't be the role of this university. I don't think so. Now they can interview these guys, and I'm sure they had great cops in the university police department, but they should be held to the same standard. And if they were with the CPD, they'd be held to the same standard and training CPD officers are. And I think it would be a good thing for the university. That's just my personal opinion.
Have you been in contact with the university, and do you know if he's still employed there?
He's on administrative paid leave. And hopefully soon he'll be on administrative paid leave in the Justice Center.
His attorney, the officer's attorney, suggested that the political environment was propelling him toward an indictment.
That's nonsense. I'm not, if I was driven by politics or media pressure, I would have released this tape a long time ago. I'm not.
When you saw this video, I assume you probably were the first to see it.
Not the first, but
Okay. When you saw it, share with us what went through your mind, given your career and what you have seen over the decades.
I can't say it in front of the media. I was shocked. I was shocked. And I realized I realized what this was going to mean to our community, and it really broke my heart because I know it's just bad. It's just bad what he did, and it shouldn't have happened. And you'll see for yourself.
Did you talk initially? We were hearing reports that it took a while to kind of come around to say he wanted to make a statement. When did he start talking?
Apparently, and you'd have to check this, Sherry. Apparently, in their union contract, the University Police, when they're involved in an incident, are permitted up to 48 hours to talk to somebody. And I was not aware of that. I mean, I would have sent him a grand jury subpoena and forced him to testify because, but it did take some time. It did take some time.
Do you know when the board of trustees at UC saw the
They have not seen it. They have not. I asked the president, and he was planning on showing it to the board, and I asked him not to do that because, again, it would have become public. I wanted to keep it within law enforcement at all times.
Going back to what the officer said, once he did talk, did he say in that statement he was dragged, or was that just a knee-jerk reaction at the beginning? Did he stick to that story?
I can't talk about his statements. Okay, we're going to show this to you. This should take about probably 10 minutes, maybe at the most.